Hi, this is Marsha. Thank you for joining me today here on Markets of Sunshine. And we are going to be practicing some of our calligraphy. So let me hold this up here so you can see what I've been doing already. And I have purchased a book that is all about helping you learn, but it's a mindful way of doing calligraphy. So it's full of inspiration and quotes, as well as all of your practice um, strokes that you need to learn. It's by Lisa Funk. You can find her here on YouTube and on Instagram and her website, and then you can purchase if you would like her little kit as well. So I went ahead and purchased this book, and she has a little bundle, and it comes with a pad of tracing paper. So this is what the pad of tracing paper looks like. And it has, let me see, I don't know if it ever said how many. I think on her website it tells you. But I mean, I've actually used quite a bit in out of it already, but there's still, I mean, just a lot left. And then for my purpose of practicing, I'm using my Stampin' Up markers, and I purchased this set when I was a demonstrator from Stamping Up, and so I could get their, I think it's 20% or 25% off discount. So it's got a lot of variety in here. Let me see, how many markers does it tell you? Whenever you want the information, of course it's never at your fingertips, so I don't see the number of markers that are in here, but I'll just hold it up like this so that you can see. It's, every color in the rainbow that you would need, lights and darks and mediums. One end is a fine tip, which I mean, that would be only for outlining is what I find it useful for, but for writing, it's not good. You like my so, but the fat tip end is perfect for this calligraphy. And this is the terrible, minuscule, can you even see that? So it doesn't write well at all. You don't even get enough ink, but to outline something, that's the only thing I've really found that it has been useful for. So I'm not really happy with that aspect of it. Okay. So if you've been following me for a while, especially on my Instagram, you saw that in April I did a 30-day mental health challenge called Self-Love Journey. And it was with a health coach. Her name is Michaela Wood. And I absolutely loved that challenge. And I really needed that to keep myself focused because I had a lot of dental surgery that month, and whew, I needed it. So it got me through. And then now I was kind of feeling like a slump again. I don't know if it's hormonal. What's the issue? Because I mean, my diet is like, I am so religious with that diet. I don't change a thing. I can't because of, my food sensitivities and allergies. And so I said, what could it be that is throwing me off? And my sleep gets a little out because I've not been able to get outdoors and get the sunshine and the vitamin D because we're so hot here in Florida. And, the West Coast is, on fire, baking, and sauna is ridiculous. And so I just have to stay indoors. And I thought, well, maybe that's part of it too, is a lack of the sunshine. And so I was really praying, and I'm like, oh, it would be so wonderful if Michaela would do another 30-day challenge, and I needed it to be on joy. So the first one was on love. So I don't know if she's doing if she's already thought this out, and it's going to be a sequence of the fruits of the spirit. But I thought, boy, wouldn't it be wonderful if she did that? And then lo and behold, her next one was about joy, and then she partnered with another lady, and um, she opened up a new business, and it's called, I always get the name confused. I think it's Retrain Your Joy Academy. So I'm pretty sure that's the name of it, but I will link it in the description below. So we started July 14th. So today's the second day with the challenge, and it's just wonderful. And then, so it was a pretty good group that signed up, and then she was partnering you with an accountability partner. And at first I was a little nervous about that because I thought, I'm I like to do partner things, but I didn't feel like I don't want somebody right on me every single day, you know what I'm saying? I was feeling so stressed. And then it's been so wonderful. So it was like day one, you did some little assignment with your partner. It was like took all of like a minute. And so I was like, phew. And so I said, see, you always stress out about things, and then it's never as bad as you think it's going to be. And not that it was going to be bad, but you know what I'm saying. And so it was really nice. And the lady that she happened to partner me with was in the other 30-day challenge, and I got to meet her on a Zoom live briefly. She's very, very nice, sweet person. And then when we got partnered, I was like, oh, and she was like, oh, I'm so glad we got partnered. And so I wanted to share that with you. Now, it's by invitation only because the doors have closed. It's a free thing. But if you message me and you think you would like, go over and read it, find out what it's about after I put it in the description, and you would like to be a part of it, you have to message me since you would know me, and I would be the person referring you so that you can get into the challenge at this point. Okay, so we're, I don't know how long she's going to leave that open, but you would have to, the further out that the challenge goes, you would obviously will have to go back and catch up on day one to really benefit from the challenge. So I just wanted to share with you the first day. And Michaela is just so brilliant at putting these things together. And it's been because of, what's helped her. And so it was all about reconnecting to our joy. And if you know, when you go through any tough times, sometimes it's hard to feel joyful, and if you have health issues and then they're lingering and chronic and what have you, you start to lose your joy because you feel like, that movie Groundhog's Day, every day it's the same thing over and over and over and over that you're dealing with. So it kind of like, steals and robs your joy. So our first little assignment was really, really fun. And she gives an affirmation, but the first challenge, it was a 30-day, and it was an affirmation for every day. And I have it. This is my journal that I made. I love this tassel. I love that little clanking sound that I hear all the time. Every time I pick it up to use it. Okay. All right. That's my daughter's artwork. Let me lay that down. Okay. So every day, and what I did with this journal when I made it, I had all of these papers in here that came from a retired paper pad from Stampin' Up. And so I had, like you see a couple of belly bands. I had these little smaller pages in here. But what I did is I came back in and I put that white kids art paper that I've told you about. I made one of my hidden paper clips. I crocheted on the top of that. Okay, so anyway, so for 30 days, that was what everything, every day you had the assignment. Same thing with this thing. But it was an affirmation, a new affirmation for every day. But in this challenge, she's doing it a little bit differently. So we only have one affirmation for the whole week, which I like that a whole lot better. So the affirmation for the week is, I take the time to smell and see joy. So think about that. How can you smell and see joy? Okay, so if you've been following the Powerful by Faith convention, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you are in tune with your spirituality and the creator, then you know what I'm talking about. So immediately when we were before the course even began, and she was asking us questions, and she did a live on Instagram, and then I thought about it immediately about connecting to my senses, and I thank God every day that I have my five senses so that I can take in all the beautiful things that he has, put on this planet for us to enjoy. And she's like, that's interesting that you would bring that up, Marsha, because it's part of the course. And I'm like, oh, how about that? So, anywho, this is like, I mean, it's just absolutely fabulous. So I wrote down the journal prompts. Every day has a journal prompt, and then a week affirmation. And then at some point along the way, like the first day we did something with a partner. Today we didn't have to do anything with a partner. So it's not like you have that pressure on you that every day, even though it's not pressure, like I said, in a bad sense. I've, so far, I mean, it's like, nothing has been upsetting to me, like the memory of, smelling and seeing and all this, whatever she had us do. So I'm not going to give away, obviously you're going to have to sign up for the course to find out the whole thing. But I wanted to say, so I'm going to write, so as I was going through my workbook from Lisa, there was a quote in here. I find my peace and joy within. And I thought, how brilliant is that? So even though, we have to connect with the higher source to get the joy that is, from the fruit of the spirit. So there's all different types of joy. But when you can break that down and understand what's the different types of joy, it's not just one type of joy. It's different types of joy. And there's different things that bring us joy. So anyway, I mean, I don't want to get into deep stuff here, but I'm just, going to talk about this. So in this page, because today's assignment was brief, and I wrote down the two questions, but I knew that it was only going to take me a little bit, a couple of sentences, a small paragraph to answer it. I don't have to write some long, drawn out, winded thing. And I'm like a brief and to the point kind of a thinker. And so I thought, oh, well, this would be a good place for me to practice this mindful quote today. And then on my, paper here with you, which I'll do that in a minute. And then I'm going to write it in my book. So now this journal has, let me see here, 1, 2, I think I only did 3 signatures. I'm looking at the top because I've got stuff stuffed in here now. Looks like 3 signatures. I don't think I did 4. Yeah. So, and then it lays perfectly, I mean, it's not what they call that gator mouth. I never even knew there was such a term, gator mouth, until I was watching some other girls thing going through all the terminology of junk journal. And I'm going, oh, is that what they call it when it looks like, this? Which I made one like that. Because you just keep stuffing and stuffing and decorating, and the next thing you know, it's just gotten way out of control. So, but this one, and it's cloth, front and back, and I have a video that shows you how you can do this. So this was cards that friends and family, loved ones had written me for anniversary cards to me and my husband. So I scanned those different parts of it. And then now I have those messages and their handwriting as a memory. I'll have that forever. And, this is going to last a whole lot longer than those cards. Those cards, the bugs start chewing up on them and, all kinds of things. Or you even lose them or whatever. So, but this is going to be, my journal that I will keep. And then going back through that whole beginning 30-day self-love journey and reading that all of that information and each of those affirmations and really building and building and building on my positivity and the mental health thinking. I mean, it changes your life. I mean, trust me, if you're a negative person, if you have a lot of trauma and baggage that you can't get rid of, you need to do Michaela's course. So it will transform your life. It will transform your life. And you couple that with your Bible study and everything. I mean, you will be like a whole new person. My outlook, my thinking, everything is just like, so when anybody comes to me and one of my friends was saying, she had 52 years of trauma and she gives me this whole itemized list. And I said, I've had the same exact stuff. It's all in how you think. You can't just keep letting that weigh on you. Just let it go. Get rid of it. Let it go. It's in the past. Let it be in the past. Keep it in the past. Anyway, okay, so now I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to practice our calligraphy together. Okay, so first, Squeaky wants to say hello to our television audience today here on YouTube, and he thanks you so much for joining Marsha here at Markets of Sunshine and our mindful calligraphy practicing today. All right. Alrighty, here we are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now, so we are going to practice this first together. And I just love doing this. Now, what I wanted to show you is you can use two different markers. And I'm going to show you how to do that to get that vintage. I don't remember now exactly what they call that style. And it's okay to pick your brush up. I used to think you had to, you could never pick up your brush, but that's not true. Your marker, your pen, whatever it is you're using. But you have to learn where to put the pressure and where to put it light. See, that's the problem with me, is that I always want to do it too heavy. So it's a lot of practice to learn to do it with lightness. So up is light, down is heavy. So I find my piece and joy. Within. And if you are enjoying all of the variety that you are finding here on my channel, then I invite you to please subscribe, join my little creative community here, because I am building a community. This is not a group of subscribers. This is a creative community that we have here. And I really, really would love for you to be part of that community. Now, this is what I do to get that. I go on the outside. Just go on the outside. And I use the same strokes. Again, there's no right way or wrong way. It's however you like to do it. Whatever looks good to you. And I give myself a lot of, the term that people like to use, grace, when it comes to things like this, because this is supposed to be relaxing and fun. It's not to be judgmental and, again, negative, which I am against wholeheartedly. I do not allow negativity around me. I will walk away from negative people and people who want to judge me, because I don't fit into their mold. And their way of thinking. We all have a choice, and we make that choice. Isn't this pretty? Look at how pretty this is becoming. So just by taking a second complementary color, once I lift it up off the paper, then you'll be able to see a little bit better. Oh, I missed him. Missed dotting the I a minute ago. Don't you know how I did that? Little squirrel is having itself a little fun little time outside of my window in the flower pot. The window, you know, the little window, what do you call that thing? Window flower pot. Okay, so there we go. Isn't that really pretty? I like that. All right, so now what we're going to do is move this over. And then I'm hoping you will be able to see me. And I'm going to, just on this little piece here, because I'm glad that that was on the page. Didn't that work out perfect? Yes. So I'm going to come in now. I'm going to do that same color blending. And I'm going to freehand now that same quote. I find peace, find my peace and joy within. All right, so light, heavy, light, light, heavy, light, heavy, light, heavy, a little dot, heavy, light, heavy, heavy. So this is heavier. I'm going to make that a little bit thicker. Okay. All right, the little loop-de-loop here. I'm going to figure out how to get the loop-de-loop to come in. Okay, so this is light, and then he turns. Okay. So down is heavy, up is light, down is heavy, up is light, down is heavy, up is light, down is heavy. Okay. Don't you know I'm going to get it all on here. I'm going to start to gonna squeeze it in. Okay, so now we're going to come over here with the piece. Okay, light, heavy, light, heavy. You like how I'm adding all this sound effect into that? I'm gonna make it. Okay, now we want to go heavy, light, curve up, go down. This extends over, heavy, a little bit light, heavy. And within. All the way around here. Bring it back right there. Come down. And then right about there, we come back up. Down. Up. We did it. Yay! I think it looks very nice. I like it. I like it. So it just shows that you are taking the time. This is not a rushed art. This is a very slow, take your time, relax art. Okay, so I'm going to go on the outside. Very slow, taking my time. Very light touch on this. I'm not trying to mimic the exact brush strokes that I did a minute ago. I'm just outlining it basically. So it's giving that three-dimensional look. And, you know, just that extra little bit of interest. You notice on my introduction pictures, and you see that image that says creating in sunshine is in this style. I love this. It's very retro. On the outside of this one. Inside the little loop. Okay, I'm going to go on the outside here, and then I'm going to follow it around. Just really letting the feel of it take me along. Very careful. Slow. 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 same thing here. Same thing here. Here. Okay, very nice. So this is our beginners practicing calligraphy and doing it in a mindful way. So I hope you find your peace and joy from within today as well. And I hope that you will practice calligraphy with me every week on Thursday and follow along as I'm going through this Retraining My Joy 30-day challenge. So keep creating in the sunshine, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Okay, so first, Squeaky wants to say hello to our television audience today here on YouTube, and he thanks you so much for joining Marsha here at Markets of Sunshine and our mindful calligraphy practicing today. All right,